there's absolutely no audio, like period, coming from your side.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it
That's
goes
interesting.
flat.
That is interesting. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know. Get like feedback or something. Error, error,
Oh.
error, error.
Invalid configuration. Webpack has been instantly using configuration that does not match the API schema. I don't know why that was appropriate. That felt like it. Okay, SAS loader. Okay, let's look because their documentation is kind of funny. This one. So you got module. Oh, you did it outside. It needs to be inside the module.
Okay. I thought I did.
You missed it
Nope,
by
I did
one.
not. All right, let me
You missed it by
back it
that
up.
much.
Back it up. Oh, not that far. Okay. So I want it after loaders.
Oh,
Put it right there.
cool. Cool.
Try npm start.
Leroy Jenkins. Hey, dude, Leroy Jenkins joined our room.
I feel honored.
I feel honored and grateful. Okay, well, at least it turned on. Now you're getting your index.js. Module parse failed. Index.js. Unexpected token on line 9. On line 9. What are you doing on line 9 of that file?
That's my component call.
Take a look here. In index, let's see here. That was in source index.js. Source index.js, line 9. It sees app and it goes, I don't know what to do with this. Let's see.
It's like I gave it the loader that it wanted, and it forgot about the other ones.
Which I'm a little concerned by how that loader looks. Um,
What?
Because it looks so different from the other ones.
if you're going
That's
upstairs,
what I was
would you
thinking
grab my
of.
backpack?
I'm not going upstairs.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, keep fiddling with that. I'm gonna be real quick. I'm gonna go grab my. Actually, nope. I gotta go grab my backpack real fast. Gonna look at another project where I do have this working correctly, and
Okay.
so I'll be right back.
You should be.
Um, oh my gosh, he's small.
What? Oh, she is. Do you hear what she's saying?
Okay, I have returned ish. Just getting into my backpack.
Okie dokie. I'm gonna remove that loader in there. Let me look at the package.json.
Privileged.
What are you?
Because that loader feels funny.
This is stupid. Why are you trying to get your while running back?
Are you watching sports? Is that what you're talking about in the background there?
Yeah, they're just finishing up the game.
Are you sporting again?
Always. Okay, I was gonna put package.json. All right, there's our SAS loader.
Okay.
That's
All right.
what I want to use.
So Are you messing around in the file right now?
Mm-hmm. Okay, save that. NPM start. Nothing. Oh, okay. Now
Okay.
it's okay.
All right, here. Let me try something real fast. I'm just looking at my other code here. I think you're really close to getting it right.
I need to rename the CSS to an SCSS file,
Oh yes, that's important.
and then I'm going to change that in index.js where it's being referenced. Okay.
Try it again. Why you do that? Oh, it still fails. Never mind. Okay, so test is that, or it matches SCSS, and
Mhm.
then we're gonna have to say use, and we're gonna go like this. I'm gonna give it an array of loaders to use. And I'm not 100% sure why it does what it does. But I'm not one to argue. Okay, so you go.
I stopped trying to figure that out a long time ago.
Yes. Actually, so we're gonna the first one it needs to do. So I think it's like a waterfall. Actually, like goes reverse of the order of what we're doing here. So the last thing we want it to do is do the style loader, which means it's already in CSS form for us, and then that's how it knows to inject that in. So cool. Whoops, that's supposed to be an object. Oops. Oh, man, it doesn't do the cool thing.
Supposed to just put it in braces for you.
Yeah, where like you highlight it and then you just hit one of the braces.
Right.
Okay, so we want that one. And then we want the CSS loader. Oops. CSS loader. And then okay, so I'm just trying to figure this out. And then the last one is the Sass loader. Okay, so what it does is it starts with Sass, finds the Sass file, converts the Sass into CSS, and then takes the CSS and converts it to inline style, and then that injects it into the bundle. Whew. I think that's correct.
Loader.
I'm going to save that. All right. Oh, by the way, if you ever make changes to this Webpack config file, you have to restart the service. You have to Control C out of it.
Oh yeah, I've been doing that.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Should have pen in there.
Oh, that sounds about right. All right. Can't resolve style loaders. We didn't install style loader yet. Okay. So we go npm install style loader -s save -dev. Suddenly got really hot.
That's just the effect that I have on people. Even from multiple states away.
I'm having hot flashes. Okay, so we got that. So now we're gonna npm start, and please work. Do the things. Okay. Oh, okay. We didn't install the CSS loader. What did you install? npm install CSS loader -s save -dev. Oops, don't type anything. Yeah, I am curious. What did you install? You did the Sass loader, and that's it. And while I am here, I'm going to move that down to here. Alright, so now let's do npm start, and maybe we got all the loaders this time. Yay, compiled! Okay. Alright, Lehigh. Stuff should be working.
Woohoo! Man, I only have like one thing in there.
That's working.
But all right, now it's not so bunched up against the left side of the page. Ugh.
Okay.
Now it's only a little bit ugly. Not super ugly.
Just a little, not mega. I need to just bookmark this page that we keep going to because I always have to look for it in the logs. Where is it, the one that I click on? Where are you? The demons? Find the link. Holy cow.
What are you trying to link?
The link that gets me into the dang website.
The IDE one or the one that we're working on?
When we're working. Oh yeah, good call. I can just click the share button.
There's your link.
I found it. I don't need your filthy link.
Oh, I'll remember that. Oh, another thing that I meant to recommend you download is React Developer Tools.
React Dev Tools?
Yeah.
What does
It's
that
a
do?
Google Chrome extension.
What does it do?
Kind of think of it like Inspect Element, but for React.
Interesting.
And it's super helpful when you start working with props and state, because you can see what state or what props are being passed in.
Okay. I have Redux Dev Tools.
And that is also a good one to have.
That one's good, but not the same. All right. Hey, well, is the font pretty small in the stream? If I don't know if you can see the stream or not.
See, I can see the stream. I can see what it says. Could be a little bit bigger. Just
There you go.
zoom in a little bit and probably be better.
On both sides there. There we go. That should be larger all around. Cool. Welcome to our React app. Cool. I'm going to go check out what you built. But if that's working, then I can actually start importing what has been done already. That's going to be fun. So components, Maverick. Let's see, which one were you styling up? You were
I just styled homepage, and I just did a container and added some margin to move it away from that corner.
Oh, interesting. So you did a style sheet all on its own over here. Okay. I'm going to try.
But that was all I got to because I was then trying to get it to work.
Gotcha. So I don't know how if React has like a cool way of doing styling. Do you know?
What do you mean?
Like its own syntax. Like Angular offers a few extra goodies to styling. Like it knows how to interpret :host inside of a CSS file.
I don't believe so.
Okay.
I don't think there's anything like that for React. One important thing to note in the index.js file, false. In the app.js file, on line 13, just where I'm giving it the class name. Do you see where I've highlighted?
On Home.js, line 13, there.
App.js.
Oh, app.js. Line 13. Oh, yeah.
Just since class, this is JSX, not HTML. And since class is a, restricted, reserved word in JavaScript, you have to use class name when setting a CSS class for the attribute.
Okay, cool. So it's trying to keep it as close as it can to HTML, but you're still working in JavaScript. So
right, since this is technically JSX, not HTML, can't use class since that name is reserved. So yeah, just important thing to keep track of.
Cool.
Easy thing to remember, as long as you know about it. Otherwise, you'll be calling class and wondering what the crap is going on.
Okay, I'm gonna try something that it's something that I do with other component frameworks. I'm gonna start building folders for each one of the components. That way we can keep the styles close to it, and we won't ever actually really have a CSS folder.
For each one, you're gonna put each component in its own folder.
That's correct.
Oh, okay.
So let's go new folder here. So, for example, this one will be home, and then I move home into home, and it's gonna blow up. I know. And then what I do here is go home slash. Fix all your problems. Yeah, all problems fixed. Yay. And then, what is home? What is in home? Home. Welcome.
Home is
Okay.
just the home page.
Okay, cool. So then I'm going to do a, in the home folder, I'm going to create a new file called home dot, well, it's all caps, home dot scss, and then, okay, and then home, cinnamon div, class, okay, and you can't say class, you have to say class name, or what was it, class list? What was that?
Class name.
Class, there you go, class name equals, and then I put in quotes here, and I'm going to call this class name is home. Okay, cool. And then I'm going to import Zaltan. Hey, how's it going, man? Alright, so I'm going to import home.scss here. Let's see what that does. Oh, it complains. Error in blah, 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 blah. Can't resolve home.scss. Oh yes, that's correct. /. Not bad. Work sucks. Just hanging and learning. Oh, cool. When are we gonna go play golf again? My hands have finally recovered, but I've learned that wearing gloves when you play golf isn't as sissy as I thought it was. All right.
Oh.
Rough day, bub.
We're all right.
Okay. So we got this home component now, and then I can do background dash color is a manly pink, and we save it. Sweet. So do you see what I did there, Lehigh?
In just with the whole folder.
Yep.
Is
So
that what you're talking about?
mhm.
Yep, that's the it.
And so I got it so dot home to match the component name, and then in the home folder I import it like that.
Yep.
And so keep
just gotta make sure where we're importing that component, we now add that folder.
Yep, and I did that. So
Okay.
hence the because before I did that it started blowing up.
Yeah, it'll do that on you. It'll blow right up.
So Zaltan, where I think we should go is Top Golf. I don't.
I
Have
do
you?
like Topgolf.
You've been there before, Lehigh?
Heck yeah, we have one here in San Antonio.
Oh man, it's so freaking fun. Have you been before, Zaltan? Cool. So now we have styling happening here. There's probably a more appropriate way to do what we did. Like they might actually have something built into React for styling, but I don't know.
Let's see.
So we got our routing going on here. Cool.
React styling.
Well, Zaltan, I am down to go soon. I
That's
think it's pretty
fun.
fun. Yeah. That's the best part about it is it's more like bowling than it is golf.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, well now that we got,
Dude,
what's that?
I was just gonna say, Top Golf is kind of just down the highway from where I work, and so a lot of times for like team builders or to take you out for celebrating, whatever, they'll take us to Top Golf.
Nice.
So I go like 3 or 4 times a year at least.
Well, that's pretty great. And do they pay for the food and such?
Yeah, they pay for everything.
That is fantastic.
Actually, what was it next week on Thursday? We're going out to eat someplace. What I'm hoping, we're going to this place called Kamagacha, and what it is an unlimited meat buffet where they just bring around the meat on sticks and say, "I want that," and they cut it off a slice and you eat, and then they
Ooh.
bring around something else and you do, rinse and repeat till you're full.
That's so good. We have a place like that called Tucanos here.
I think I've heard of that. Yeah, same thing. It's awesome. So I'm hoping there's 3 places we voted on, and I'm hoping that one won.
Oh, jeez. Neck Nation in our chat, he said he gets hooked up with Top Golf.
Oh, they built it. That's
built it.
cool.
That's a good deal. If you happen to have any, little things, pass them my way. That'd be great.
Yeah, is there a certain code we can just put into the touchscreen there and give us 100 points on every hit?
Yeah,
I really need that.
that would be.
I have fun at Top Golf. I'm not good at it.
Been there. All right, I built because I got Evently bot, Evently Discord bot, and Evently server. Oh crap! Which one of these is the one that I actually did? 8. Yeah, that sounds about right. Why did I call it Evently server?
So maybe you should start changing some names.
That would probably be the right thing to do, but where's the fun in that?
Yeah, what was I thinking? Who wants to be able to find their projects?
Find their projects. Yeah. Seriously though, like I created a whole bunch of stuff. What was I doing? Didn't do the system, unfortunately. Oh, they built the infrastructure, just like oh shoot, all the cement.
Infrastructure, huh? That's still pretty cool.
Why do I stuff like API?
Tech Nation
Send you here. Well, welcome.
Well, welcome.
Well, welcome. We're currently talking about Top Golf.
And Riot is doing something.
Oh, I think.
What are you doing?
I put it on my desktop. That's where I put it. I'm just getting ready to just pull over everything. So, what would we like to do? Because we have these components that we've been messing around with, and you got routing in here.
Yep.
So,
I could just review the routing real quick to start.
let's do that because I would like to understand it.
Yeah, that's what I figured. That'd be a good. Just because I did that without you for those listening. That was just something I worked on earlier today. We had talked about doing it yesterday and just didn't have time between getting the regular stuff set up and answering questions, which was fun. But yeah, it's fairly simple. I mean, most of the time I spent doing it, I spent trying to get stupid Apache to work. All right, so I'm just gonna be in. What should we start with? App.js. That's a good place to start.
App.js in our components. Okay.
Correct. So line 2 imported browser router and route from React Router DOM. See, I thought I needed React Router DOM. I didn't install it yesterday, but I was correct. I did need it.
Okay. Okay.
So browser router, that's just the outside encompassing tag that's telling React, hey, we're going to have some routes in here, right? So that's what you need it for. And then this is still your component, so you can still have your normal JSX that you want inside this component. For instance, if you wanted something on every page, a navigation bar, whatever, then you'd still do that like normal. And then for your links, so I mean, say this was a navigation bar, and then you'd have your links inside here.
Okay.
And this is where the route component comes in that we pulled in. And then it's pretty simple. It's just route, path equals wherever you're going. and then you give it the component that you want to render. So this path is the one in the URL, just to
Okay.
clarify. So first here we see just our slash, right? So that's our home page, right? It's just your slash route.
Okay.
And then we have the slash riot slash maverick. And then we have two different ways of calling the component. First one you can see on line 14 with the home. It's just component equals, and then the name of the component that you want to bring up when you go to that URL. And so in this instance, we're going to the home page. And because we're referencing the actual component that we imported, we want to put that in curly braces since it's JavaScript. And then I did that again for Maverick. And then the second way of doing it is you call render.
Okay.
Render equals object. Inside that object, you have just your fat arrow function, anonymous function. And then you call the component that you want to call or show, kind of the good old-fashioned way, right? Like an empty or a self-closing HTML or JSX tag. And the benefit or the reason you would use render over component is to pass in props.
Oh, cool.
Right. And so for the riot component, we were passing in a name. And so in order to do that, we had to use render instead of component.
Gotcha. All right. So real quick, we have two questions that came in here. One, IGN wreckage is don't even know why I'm here, or don't even know what I'm watching. I'm just here so I won't get fined. I'm not even sure how that's possible, but okay.
It's okay. We won't find you.
We won't find you.
Marshawn Lynch style.
And then Apex Tier asks a relevant question. Hey guys, what I don't understand about React is why would you mix your HTML with your JavaScript? That's a good question. I'll take a quick stab at it. So if I come from the Angular world where you actually keep them separate, your HTML and your JavaScript completely separate from each other, and that works great. So that's the world I came from. So seeing the HTML in the JavaScript is a little strange to me, but I get it. And actually with React, the React library itself is all JavaScript. There is no HTML in the JavaScript. This is actually a third-party library brought in with React called JSX, which lets you write HTML in your JavaScript that converts it back to JavaScript. Is that correct, Lehigh?
Well, I'd say the biggest thing is, and maybe something that's often mistaken, is that this isn't HTML. Even though a lot of times it looks like it, it is, like you're saying, that JSX. And so it is still JavaScript, which is then this JSX is taken and created into DOM elements. So we're not technically writing HTML here. It's going to be, translated into DOM elements down the road, if that makes sense.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So it's just I think the way it's usually been told to me, it's lipstick on top of a pig, where it is still JavaScript. It's just letting you write it in a different way that makes it look closer to what it is going to be whenever it goes to the DOM.
Correct. I mean, instead of doing, like the normal whatever dot create element, we can just do it like this, which, I mean, you can kind of see it looks much nicer and it's a lot easier to work with, because it does feel like HTML.
Cool.
Apex, same background as you, right? Having that Angular background, so it looked really weird.
Yeah.
And I thought it was weird at first too. I remember when I first started doing React, not that I've actually done it long, but I remember thinking, like, where does the HTML go? When do I start writing HTML?
When does it actually come into the project?
Kind of just get used to it.
Yeah. It's interesting though. I think that's the only thing that really makes it, because if it wasn't for JSX, you would pretty much be writing just native JavaScript.
Correct. I mean, it's just, yeah.
You'd almost not even need React because you're just writing JavaScript.
Well, the React Well, it's kind of what React still does, even with the I mean, React works with JSX, right? But React is still the thing that is putting that on the DOM, through their diffing process with the virtual DOM and doing all that cool stuff. Um, it's just you would still have React if you took out the JSX. You would just have a lot of, to me, ugly JavaScript. Because you'd have to have like that create element, and then you have to say what element you're, create the div element. This is what you put it inside the attributes, whatever. It'd be a lengthy process.
Right.
JSX helps us cut that out.
I'm looking through the compiled down version of what we just built. So in the bundle, where it actually takes the JSX and converts it to JavaScript, this is kind of gross because Webpack is throwing in a few extra things. So if you could try to ignore these huge long variables right here.
Webpack is wonky.
But this is actually what it is. What React's really doing is it gets the variable, it creates an element.
All those create elements, if it wasn't for JSX, is what we'd have to write.
Yeah, so it says, here's the div, null, because I think it's saying null because it doesn't have any parameters, but then it nests it for the nested children.
Yeah.
Oh, the attributes, that's what it is.
I believe so.
And then the text. So this is actually valid. Like we could, with the exception of these variables here, copy and paste this and replace the JSX in app.js with this, and that would work fine too. It would skip one step. But the JSX looks a lot cleaner than that.
And I mean, to me personally, it's a lot easier to write.
Cool.
To do basically HTML, even though it's really not.
Right.
So yeah.
Cool. Well, hey, Apex here, if you have more questions, feel free to ask. But Lehigh, if you want to continue on with what's going on here, I see you have this word exact going on.
Yes,
Line
and that
14.
is a very important word because without it, it likes to match the first match that it comes to, not the exact match. So, for instance, let's have a little fun. Take out exact.
Okay.
And save it. All right, now let's pull up our page.
All right.
Okay, we got our home page. Click on one of the links.
Oh, it stayed.
What? So what's happening is it's going through, it's going to match the URL, and the very first match it comes to is that /.
Okay.
Right? And so it's like, all right, cool, I got a match. Keeps going down because there's Riot, there's an R after it, so it keeps going down and it matches the next one. It's like, hey, I got another match. And it just throws them both on top of each other. So by having exact in there, oops, that's not where that goes.
Right, exact.
Right, exact. Exactly. Anyway, having exact in there just means to match up against this one, you need to have it has to be an exact match. One other thing that we could do,
that's cool.
I'll delete that there, and then take this and put it down here. Let's see, I've done this before. Let's see if it wants to work. Oh, see, now it's doing...
Oh, it shows it below it.
Yep.
Interesting.
That is interesting. So that's why we have that exact word in there. So yeah, kind of important.
That's pretty cool.
And just something to remember if you're in that kind of situation.
What if we wanted to nest these inside of the root?
What do you mean?
I saw an example. I'm going to modify this code just a little bit here, where then it has /route. Whoops. Route like that, and then it took these two and it put them inside of here. So now they're nested inside of it. What does that do? Well, I wonder if that will do anything.
Here.
You should not use route component and route children in the same route. Okay.
See, there you go. Don't do it.
Okay.
What you've done.
Well, I apparently didn't pay close enough attention to the last tutorial that I was watching.
Yeah, I'd have to kind of look more into that and get back to you.
Okay.
Because I don't know if I've seen that specifically. I'm not 100% sure what you're talking about, but I do believe. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to have some kind of nesting in there.
Yeah, because sometimes you'll like, for example, let's say you had a page and you get the top navigation, and you want to navigate to blog or something like that, and so you navigate over to blog, but
Mm-hmm.
whenever you want to like start seeing children blog posts, you still want to keep like the parent route there because the parent route is the one that contains the controls to navigate to the children routes.
Mm-hmm.
And so I want to be able to choose those children routes without changing the parent route. Does that make sense? So I'm changing something inside of the parent. Does that make sense?
Hmm.
But anyways, we can get into that.
Yeah, I mean, we can definitely go deeper into router as we keep learning it.
Okay, cool.
Um,
So,
oh, okay. So here's the thing that I was missing. So there's another way you can do this without the exact keyword. Is by adding a switch. So here we just add switch. And then we can take this guy, put her down here, and now this is what I was missing before. We do need to import it from React Router DOM. Save that, looks good. See if the page loads. All right, now we're looking good. That was what I was missing before.
interesting. Okay.
So now it'll work. What switch does is it only matches it against the first one that it
It lands on.
matches.
Okay, so it's like a switch statement is what it is.
Yeah. So it'll iterate over all of the children of the switch and only render the first one that matches the current path name.
Okay. Cool.
So I don't know if moving the other one down was necessary, but I did it anyway. All right. The other thing that I wanted to talk about with React Router, if you go to any of the other pages, I'm
Okay.
on home.js,
All right, let's go there.
is the link.
Oh, okay.
And this is just replacing the anchor tag.
Okay.
So instead of an anchor with an attribute of href, we now have a link with an attribute of 2.
Cool.
And I mean, it works just the same way. 2 instead of href, and then you point it to where you want it to go. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So 2, you pass this in,
You say, I
That's
want to go
fine.
to this place, and there you go.
and off you go. Sweet.
Yep. I mean, that's just replacing the anchor tag. I think they do have a nav link component as well. If you're doing like navigation bar,
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure of the difference. I just assume they have some properties on there that, specifically you may like for navigation bars as opposed to other regular links. But just kind of something that you can mess around with if you're doing a navigation bar.
Cool. That's
But
pretty
yeah,
cool.
I mean, that's just, I guess, in very simple code, React Router.
It's simple, fairly straightforward, as long as you get over the hump
Yep.
that you are coding with HTML. HTML-like. That's pretty cool.
You're not coding HTML, Austin. Haven't you learned anything?
I will never get over that feeling where like that, no matter what anyone tells me, I'm like, this is HTML.
I
There is
know,
a
dude.
div right here.
Funny thing is, I was the same way. I remember like people were like, "Remember, this is not HTML. This is JavaScript." I'm like, "Shut up! It's HTML." I like what? I don't care what you're calling it. It's HTML. And I'm like, "All right, I guess I can kind of see it."
I kind of get what you guys are talking about, but I still think you're full of bull crap.
I was
Sorry,
like, I don't care what you call it as long as I know how to use it. And I use it like HTML. So there.
Will I get paid if I do it like this? Yes, you'll get paid. I'll do it this way then.
You win. I guess we hit that switch. All right. But yeah, there you go. There's React Router.
Cool. It's actually not too bad. I
Nope.
like it. All right. Well, let's start pulling in what we had built previously. I'm going to actually move this
Yeah.
chat back into here.
I have not seen this code yet, so I'm excited.
Well, It looks like stuff.
That's why I'm excited.
All right, actually, so I'm gonna be wait here, see what I can figure out here. So we got. I can actually open this guy up in VS Code. And it has the wrong project. No, it doesn't. That's the right one. Source public. Cool. Cool. And this one I did use that React starter kit to get everything up and running.
The create React app.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So I think we got all the pieces in that I needed in order to make this thing really work. Yep, that was just booting it up. App test, we don't do tests yet. SCSS, we don't do anything there. App.js. Alright, cool. I created this event create and I imported it from here. So supposedly with the awesome power of React, I should just be able to take this folder or this component, the event create component, and just drag and drop it into our project. Supposedly, and also however this thing works. Let's open this guy.
You could definitely do that.
Let's take a look here. Find in folder. No, don't find in folder.
And then all we'd have to do is import that component into app JS, and we should be good to go. Cool. We can even actually just add a route to it.
Let's see if this works. I'm dragging. Oh, look, I can just drag from my computer and drop it right in there. And uploaded. Check that out. There's event create in there now.
Well, components event. Hey.
Well, that's nifty.
Plus 10 points to Cloud9.
Yeah. To Gryffindor. Alright.
How do you know Cloud9 is Gryffindor? I mean, they are blue. It could be Ravenclaw.
It could be. Is Ravenclaw blue?
Yes. You want to know who is Slytherin?
Green. I know that one.
Not color, but you want to know the person? Nightbot.
Nightbot.
That butthole, definitely Slytherin.
All right. So we got the event created in here. Let's take a look at the JS file. It's not doing anything super fancy. Just class event create extends component. Blah 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 blah. He imports this local one. Then the SCS file. Nothing super special. Just referencing itself. Oh, and it creates a CSS file, which is weird. We don't need to do that.
It creates a CSS file?
Yeah, with the React Create, that one that started project, instead of just bundling my CSS together like all in one step, it creates a CSS file and writes it to the system, and then it goes back over again and grabs the CSS file and bundles it. So what we've made it skips that step and just does it all in one flow. So I don't know why they're doing that. I assume they have good reasons because they have lots of people contributing to their project and only me contributing to my project. So I don't know. All right, so we have event create now, and suppose we can just in here I can just go import event create from /event -create /event -create. That gets a little bit annoying. And then I have this new component now, and we can route to it. Well, just for fun. Actually, I'm not going to route to it. I'm just going to plop it on the screen first to see if it works. I think I just do it like this. I think. All right. Save.
That'll work.
Oh,
no way to go.
Error in source components, event create.js, module not found, error cannot resolve, event create CSS. Oh, okay, that's right. So this guy, you can create it, you can import your SCSS now because we built it cool like.
Did you change the? Oh yeah, you did.
Hey, look, there it is.
All right, and this is a good example because you put it outside of the switch. It's on every page. So, for instance, if that event create component was a, well, what you might call it, a navigation instead, you know,
Mm-hmm.
that'd kind of be an example of why you would do that.
Okay.
So,
That
yep.
is pretty neat. Well, that was really
Uh,
cool that we could just drop that in there and it just says, yep, I will do the things.
Yeah, it's almost like React is good or something.
I think that's the power of components, man.
Yep, it's one of those things. The more you work with components, um, the more you do with them, the more you're like, this is really nice.
I like them. I like you. All right.
All right,
Um,
you want to try and route to it?
well, okay, so this is going to be the home route because I want it to be right as soon as you land on the Evently website, it's right in your face, like create an event.
Okay,
So that should be the slash route.
correct.
So let's go ahead and jump back into app.js.
If you want, we can even just delete home.js. That was just kind of a placeholder, and throw Evently.
Like this.
Yeah,
Okay. So we can do that. Because we don't really need the switch anymore.
well, it's just matching the exact path. So if you want to take switch out, that's fine. You just need to put exact back in
Okay.
that last route.
What,
the home
what,
route.
what have you seen as like the people are doing more often?
That's the thing is I've seen them both.
Hmm.
So I'm not sure if one is preferred or if it's just preference
Okay.
because I've seen them both done.
So we don't need home anymore since it's not used in this file. Just
We also do not need to switch import on line 2.
Oh, in fact, that's probably why it's underscoring it right now. Saying you don't need this. Oh, API Nightbot has struck again.
Nightbot.
FY, you can link people to. Yeah, that's okay. True. That's cool. Yeah, you guys are welcome to participate in here. You can't edit the file at all, but you can get in here and view things and see what we're doing. That's a good point. Thanks, Apex. And by the way, thank you for the follow. I saw you followed earlier. I missed saying thank you. All right. Yeah, that seemed to work. We just don't have those routing buttons anymore because Home had those. That's okay. We'll put those back in. There was some styling that I had to, getting that grid in the background. That's going to probably be. We could delete home folder. Goodbye, home. You have served your purpose. You'll be remembered fondly. Actually, probably not. Okay, so we got the event create. And then we got the CSS file. So I'm going to delete the CSS folder. Okay, index. And then index.js is freaking out because it goes, I lost my CSS file. You did. You did. All right. And we got app, which app is a component too. It just happens to be the master component. So I'm going to put him in a folder as well. New folder. App. And then app.js goes inside there. And then everything blows up because why it just does. Index.js is /app. Still trying to come up with like a good naming convention so I don't always have to do app/app. But
Oh, for like folders?
yeah, and I guess it's fine. It just feels funny. I'm like, maybe
This is,
what's that?
this is the first time I've seen anyone put components in separate folders.
Like actually, like putting a component into a folder because the reason why I do is so the CSS files will stay right next to it too. I mean,
Right.
you saw the power of that, right? When I dropped event create in, I just dragged the folder, dropped it in, and it was good to go.
That is true. Can't argue there. I mean, yeah. But But yeah, I mean, what I've seen most of the time is just a kind of a more global CSS
Hmm.
um, file with all the components in a component um, folder.
So how do they
But
style each of the components individually?
just through their classes.
But do they do it in the global file?
Yes.
Ew, that thing has to be like thousands of lines long.
Well, none of the ones I've done or seen have been very big.
Okay.
You know what? Tomorrow I'll check at work and get our. I want to see how they do it.
Hmm.
I haven't done too much with the React stuff at work.
So,
But yeah, I'm curious to see how they do the CSS because I mean, we are talking thousands of lines
Nice.
and tons of web applications. So I'm curious to see how they do it.
yeah. Because it's good to you can still have a global style sheet, but it's not a global style sheet for all the components, but it might bring in like here is our font for our entire application.
Right.
And then like here's some other like grand things that we do. Uh, but I like having the styling that's pertains specifically to a component right with the component, so it's finite right there. It can inherit, but it's in charge of its own.
And I mean, you could always put all CSS into a CSS folder. For pulling
Uh,
over component, it would just be one extra file.
yeah. So the way that I just did it, that's a very angular. Well, I say it's very angular way, but that's just where we do it. Because in Angular, we actually have an Angular generator, and where we say create component, and it creates a component exactly like I just did. It creates the name of the file, a folder, and then inside that folder, it creates the TS file, TypeScript file, the SCSS file, and a test file, all right next to each other. Oh, and the HTML file. So they're all contained together in that one place. So
Keep your dirty Angular out of here.
no way, man. You share the ideas across projects.
No, like I said, yeah. I don't think it really makes a difference. It's just preference. Not that I have one. It's all cool, man.
It's all cool in the hood. It's all good. All right. Error in source. Error cannot resolve /maverick. Why not?
Probably because you just changed the
Oh yeah, that's
the
right.
app into its own thing.
That's right. App is trying to jump up a folder. That's right.
You did it.
Yeah, that's right. I was confused. Like, where is it going?
Oh, there's a Tyrannopod down the street.
I'm everyone's favorite developer at work because I'll be like, all right, guys, the project looks good. Everyone's happy with it. Then the next hour later, they're like, what just happened? I'm like, yeah, I had another idea, so I changed up the entire folder for everything.
I broke it. I'm sorry.
What happened? Oh, I know why. All right. Source component app.js can't resolve /event create. Yep, because I jumped that back up folder too. Cool. And with the power of magic resolving, it's still recompiling. Why are you still recompiling? All right, there we go. Okay, cool. We're back in shape. So I was going to create a styling for app.js, which I was trying to pull here. New file, app.scss. And then inside here we'll do .app. And just gonna get this thing kind of working. The background shall be blue. And just keep naming conventions the same.
I mean, app.js would really be your global, or your global CSS.
Yeah, well, yeah, tied to the master parent. But there's also other, because you do want to create a global styles for, like you'd create a colors.scss file.
Mm-hmm.
And in that in there you'd have like primary or $primary is hex value, whatever primary color is. And then in your files like app right here or in event, where I'm like, I need to use the primary color for this site, I would import that colors file. So I have those global variables available, and I'd do background color $primary. Have you done much with Sass before?
I used it a little bit. Dude, yikes. It's been a while. But I did, yeah, experiment with it a little bit. I liked it a lot.
Cool.
Just never, I guess I just didn't have the projects to keep working through it.
Okay.
Apex, though, did ask your opinions on less versus SAS.
Okay. Honestly, I don't have a strong opinion. I just use Sass. I've been using Sass for a long time and haven't tried exploring outside of it because I haven't had a need. But I would be curious to hear your opinion on it, Apex, if you have used the two. So Lehigh, a question for you is, I want to put it in the class app on here. Do I put it onto browser router?
What file are we in?
App.js.
App.js.
Or is it actually? You know what is it
Okay.
actually splatting
I'm
out onto
sorry.
the page?
What was the question?
I want to put class app on here so I can style it. So keeping my naming conventions to the component name. And I was just curious, what is actually being rendered out to the page from here? Is browser router actually coming to the page somehow?
This is why the React Dev Tools is really helpful.
Okay, it's not actually. It's just that first div class name container is the first thing. Browser router is not put to the screen.
Yes, let's see.
So we got container, and I'm gonna put app on here as well.
HTML wise, correct. You do not see. Oh, great! You reloaded my page.
Oh.
You don't see browser router HTML wise. If you look through React, you can see the component through the React Dev Tools. But
Okay, gotcha. Well, Lehigh, I'm gonna be back real fast. I got something I need to go take care of. Got one of the kids doing something, but I'll be back in probably about 5 minutes. Okay.
okie dokie.
Yeah, you take over from here.
Oh boy. Let's see, Apex. I use Sass, but I know a lot of people prefer less because it's not ran on Ruby. Whatever you do, don't look at the spec for CSS4's wannabe implementation of variables. It hurts so bad it hurts. Well, now I'm like partially tempted to look, but at the same time, I don't want it to hurt. I am a little surprised that CSS has not done a better job of just implementing variables, but I figured it was only a matter of time, but that was several years ago. Who knows by now? All right. I'm not sure what he was talking about with the class app stuff. I mean, we can see here on line 9, he already has. I mean, we're already doing a class, JavaScript class for this component. But he was talking about something with CSS. So I'm not super sure what he was talking about. But we do have this set up here. I don't think we're going to need the Riot and Maverick components anymore. That was more just for setting up and explaining React Router. I'd say look and bring a bag in case you vomit. All right, good advice. I'll make sure I'm sitting down as well. Is class name attribute specific to React? Yes, it is, and that's a very good question. So class name is just the HTML equivalent of class. So like we were saying before, that this is actually not HTML, but it is JavaScript, that JSX. You cannot use the word class in JavaScript because it's reserved. You can see up here, boom, that's for class. So if we were to use class in there, they would think that we're trying to create a class. A JavaScript class, not a CSS one. So React just has this, or I guess it's JSX, has this class name, which just translates to CSS class. But yeah, that's a really good question. It's kind of one of those things that's it's easy to remember as long as you know about it. But if you don't know, then it could trip you up. One of those little things that just constantly reminds you the difference between HTML and JSX. Yep. So that's all it is. If this was HTML, it would look like that with just class equals whatever. But it's not, so we'll put that back in. Oh, here's where he's putting app. I'm not sure what he's doing there. They just put it in multiple classes for the SCSS, which if that's the case, then that is fine. You can do that. Like I said, this is, I mean, you can treat it the same way like you do an HTML class attribute, where you can add multiple classes on the same, inside the same attribute. It's just the name that's different. So if that's what he's talking about, then we should be good to go, and that'll look fine. We can go over here. Let's see, he already has the .app. That's good. Let's see. Do you guys have a Discord? Yes. Actually, that's what we're talking about right now. Or talking on right now is we're connected through Discord. I can send you the link to Riot's. He kind of just a little Discord server up for talking, just keep talking and sharing cool stuff. It's Toothpick Factory. Let me see if I can get the link for that. If not, I will ask him as soon as he gets back to send that. Oh, here we go. Nightbot's not gonna like me for it. Yep, screw you, Nightbot. But yeah, so that's the one that he created. Feel free to join that, and it's just a bunch of people. Oh, I lost it. There it is. Just a bunch of developers. Pretty sure they're all developers. Talking code and whatnot, sharing cool stuff. So feel free to jump in the chat whenever you have something cool to share. Or see someone else saying something cool. Let's see. All right, so we have .app has a background of blue. Save that. And for some reason, the page is not uploading or updating as it should. App.js class name equals app.
I
Good there.
kind of returned. I am back now. There we go.
Okay, cool. Trying to think what you missed. Very nice talk.
Oh,
Mostly
good.
about you.
Oh.
All good things.
Oh, good. Good.
Apex asked if we have a Discord, so I put in the link for Toothpick Factory.
Oh, cool.
He also asked what the class name attribute is all about, so I went over that one with him. And then I was trying to figure out what the heck you're doing.
Okay, well. Oh, what am I doing in here?
You were talking about something about with app and class.
Oh,
but
yes.
I think I was confusing JavaScript with CSS. Were you talking about adding the app class, like CSS class, to that div?
Yeah, that's what I was doing, because I wasn't sure if that browser router component piece was actually going to be rendered to the DOM.
Okay, gotcha.
But it's not. It's actually the div. So I can put the app right here, and it works great. Now I need to import the CSS into this file.
Yeah, that's why it wasn't working. I was trying to play catch up, and I was like, all right, he has a CSS change. Why is it not loading?
Style. So I'm going to go import. Wow. Import. And it goes /app.scss. So Apex, you're an Angular developer. Uh-oh, you've been messing around with something. Has been changed on disk. Would you like to reload it? Sure. Yes to all. Lots of things have been touched. Okay, cool.
Yeah, that was weird. Same thing happened to me. All right.
Weird. But yeah, Apex, you say you're an Angular developer. I'm curious what development you do. Angular 1, Angular 4. Where are you at? Okay, cool. Well, that selected app, but app is only taking up this much. App is really supposed to take up like the entire thing. It's supposed to be the project, right?
I mean, well, when you think about it, it's a div, right? So it's just as a div, it's gonna be a block element that takes up as much space as it needs.
Okay, but
So you'd
app.
have to- but yeah, I mean, it's our most outside component.
Okay.
So you just have to give it the CSS and tell it, hey, background, take up full space.
Yeah, let's do that real quick. So we got to tell this element that you are actually the full thing. And in order to take the full space with the element, because we can do position absolute and then get him to fit that way, but that feels strange. But maybe that's the right way to do it.
Hey, React.js on Twitter followed me.
Hey, thanks React.js.
Sent out a tweet about this stream. I feel a little special. Not gonna lie. Apex says on Angular 1 right now, wanting to switch to 4 really badly.
It is fantastic. I do love Angular 4. It's very component driven. Since I learned Angular 4, now I'm trying to learn React. They're very, very similar to each other.
I was gonna say, Apex, what got you into Angular? I mean, was it like personal projects? Was it for work? What drove you to AngularJS? What were you going to say, Austin?
Oh, nothing. I was just looking at something here. HTML height margin. Blah, 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 blah. Actually, you know what? What we can do, this would save us time. In our index.js, where it's selecting which component do you want me to bind to, and we said bind it to root. Well, we can
Just make root.
we can just do body document get element
Yeah,
by
I mean that's the thing is it's just CSS, so we can still do either do it to body or HTML or whatever.
yeah. So I'll just go like this. I'm gonna grab ID root here, and actually I'm just gonna put him on body. Da 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 da. So we quite literally want this thing to take over everything. It was the need to have less spaghetti code. Cool.
I feel like it took a while for Angular 2 to come out after Angular 1, but it didn't take that much time to get to Angular 4.
Every 6 months they'll be releasing. They'll go to the next version of Angular, so they're really close to doing Angular 5.
That feels frustrating.
Oh, it's not, but it's not like how Angular 1 was to Angular 2. That was drastic.
Not that big of a jump. As I say, it'd take me 6 months just to learn it. I don't have to learn another one. Is it more like JavaScript releases where you just have some new stuff to, new implementations and maybe some new syntax?
Yeah, so like with Angular 1 to 2, Angular 2 was not backwards compatible with Angular 1. I mean, you could do some weird stuff, but it's not. But Angular 4 is compatible with Angular 2. Angular 5 will be compatible with Angular 4. So it's always going to be backwards compatible with one version.
Cool.
So anyways, that's a little bit of history there. Okay, so that app is bound to body, but what is it doing? Oh, it's not really. It's still a child of that. Let's see here. Next app. Oh, okay, so it makes it a child. I guess that's fine. So they say, okay, so in order to do that, we got components here, index.js. So we can do index dot. Yeah, okay. Source, so we can create a new file. Index.scss. Because that could almost be its own folder too, because it's essentially a component as well. It's just the overarching master component index. That's kind of cool. index.css. I'm gonna go body, and this is we're gonna have the main overarching ones. And the trick that I saw here was we set this to be like that. Okay, cool. And then index.js, import, and then this guy's gonna also import. Regular 6 says, do you use a CSS modules class name mangling? That's a good question. I don't. I don't use a third-party thing to do it. Instead, I scope my classes like this. I'll show you. Actually, let me type this in real fast before I forget. Index.css.
While you do that, I'm use the facilities real quick. I'll be right back.
You're good. Okay, well, that's getting closer. So for example here, look at event create. So I always block them into the name of the component that they're in, so they can't bleed out of themselves. They are bound to their parent here. So it does keep them locked into themselves. And that's what the CSS modules does. It forces your CSS to not bleed. Anyways, but tell me if that's what you're thinking about, Peter. That's what you're thinking. See, my way just forces me to be more disciplined, so I don't screw it up. All right, index.scss is in here now. Let's see if it actually did anything. I'm going to move chat off screen real fast. Okay. Rendering components directly into document.body is discouraged since its children are often manipulated by third-party scripts. Okay, so it doesn't like doing that. So let's come back into here, and we'll do div id equals root. Save that. Apex tier says tabs versus spaces, tabs for life. Yes, I do like tabs. Well, I don't know actually. So tabs versus spaces. I like my tab whenever I hit tab to be 2 spaces. Because I like to keep I don't like having my code really spread out. Alright, index.root. Yes, do your thing. Save. Okay, comes into here. Good job. And then, why is there this giant margin on it, though? At body height margin 0. And actually, something I would like to do is in here. Asterisk. I want box sizing. Wait, is that right? Box sizing? Box sizing. Border box. Yeah, that's right. Box sizing. Border box. Is that right? That feels wrong. No, that's right. Perfect. Yeah, that's what I want. 4 tabs with master race. I like 2 tabs. 2 spaces. I really want to try class name mangling, but I am a backend developer. So yesterday I've tried to set up the Node.js tools to do the CSS post-processing. Okay, how'd that go for you? Not you, Lehigh. I assume things went well for you.
Yes, thank you. Everything went accordingly.
went to plan.
Yes.
Okay, why is there this space up above? Where is that coming from? I wonder. Oh, it's this dude.
I added a margin.
You did? Okay, let's see here.
I did. So it's in some CSS that you've tucked away somewhere.
No, it's this event creates doing it, but why is it
Oh,
kicking down everything? That's weird.
that's a good question.
But anyways, this back to this guy's little guide I was just looking at. I need to set app itself to be a min height of 100%. Dun 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 dun. Actually, no. What am I doing? I'm not doing this. Scrap all everything I just did. Actually, leave that. Leave that one piece. I like that piece. We're not doing that. App is not taking up. Well, it could, but that's not its job. Appreciate you for trying, though, app.
You're welcome. On behalf of app.
Anytime. All right, we got components. So there's this other piece that I did. Images. So I'm going to drag and drop that into source. Cool. And okay. App. Nope, not app. Index.scss. Yes, that's what I want right there. Okay, so come back into here, and then we go kaplop. And our spacing, as they're all getting jacked up. Okay. Okay, see if that works. Nope, it hates me. Cool. It's because it doesn't know how to. I think we need to put it on another loader so it knows how to move files over like
Oh, those bloody loaders.
silly loaders. Let me take a look here. I do need to do one other thing in my index file, which I can't find. Where did public?
You're lucky, Webpack, that you do so much good for us.
Yes. Thank you, Webpack. Alright, that's what I'm doing. I need you to come back into index.html, title, and we're going to import in the font. So it's going to be mad. It is angry. Where am I going? Oh, SCSS. Okay, so I'm just going to turn off the background image real quick, and we should compile. Yep, there we go. And now we got our cool font that came in. We just don't got our fancy background, the grid. And we need to do that. We only got 10 minutes left, man.
Man, time flies.
Okay, margin. Okay, so the one that copies images over. So Webpack copy images. How start files to build directory. Yay. So, okay, you don't need to copy things around. Webpack works differently than Gulp. Webpack is a module bundler, and everything you reference in your files will be included. You just need to specify a loader. Yes. I want to know what loader.
Multiple times.
I've been told.
Peter says, I thought I should use Webpack, but it turns out that, as I found out by tutorials, it can't create JSON file with class map. Do you know, can it?
Okay, it can't create JSON file with a class map. Mangled name, real name. Do you know you can't? It should be able to, because that's what you're referring to is the CSS map file that, like if you combined all your like JS files together, your CSS files and all that, and whenever you go to debug it, it will actually show you the real version of everything and the real files that they're in rather than the giant bundle. It should. I have no idea why it wouldn't be able to do that. Let's see here. Plugins. Copy Webpack from static. Your app require copy Webpack plugin. You failed to mention you are the author of the plugin. That's funny. Well, I like the one where it copies files. Loaders. The file or URL loader, for instance, takes seconds. URL loader. I think that's the right one. I don't want to do that. I just want it to copy. So maybe this copy Webpack plugin. What am I using in my project? That's what I want. Let's see here. I am using File Loader. And I was using it just to copy fonts over. And that's what this guy's doing too. He's using File Loader. This top one. Loader, file. Okay, let's install that real quick. Die. Okay. npm install file dash loader dash dash save dash dev. Do your thing. Better load, better load. Wow, that installed ridiculously fast, or I blew something up. Oh, I didn't spell install right. I left off an L. Alright, file loader has been installed. Added 115 packages. That is significant. Let us
What'd you do?
Santa Vaca. Okay, so then we put in this new one where we got to add in a new test. So the test is, I'm going to just copy this guy's test because it's pretty awesome. Yes, actually exactly what this guy wrote. Kick down. Whoops. Kick down. Kick down. Okay, so it says, this test says if the file is a JPEG, GIF, PNG, SVG, WOLF, TFF, WAVE, or MP3, use file loader, which supposedly is going to move that around. To make this work, of course you need to install file loader. Huh? Okay, I think that's gonna work. We got that in there. We got the test, the loader. Yeah, that might work. Maybe. So we got this file now, and if I back it up and hit save, that's gonna do nothing because I have to run npm start. And it's gonna go crunch, 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 crunch.
Not gonna lie, providing the loaders, my least favorite part.
But supposedly, once you get the loaders all provided, you're good to
once that's
go.
done, Webpack is a genius. You just gotta provide the brains first.
Hey, look at that! It's blue.
Fancy.
Well, the good news is we're back to where we got everything that I did into here, so that's good. And
That is true.
I think the next big piece we need to do, because we'll do routing, because we'll need to route from here into the when you get an event, it'll be like at the URL will be slash like the event ID, and whenever when you see that, that means go to the event page and go to the server, fetch that event, pull it back, and let's load it. So that'll be the next thing we need to figure out is we need to be able to create an event. So how do we do AJAX requests with React or Axios?
Axios.
So
That is the one that I've seen used most often so far.
Cool.
Axios.
So we will be doing that for sure next time, which sucks because that is not till Tuesday, because that's the next time we stream code.
Oh my goodness, it's Thursday already.
Yeah,
Hot
time
dang.
goes by freaking fast.
Yeah.
Anyways, on that note, we got the last few minutes, but so you guys have a good conversation going on in chat. But just a reminder for you guys, I do stream every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday from 9 p.m. Mountain Standard Time to 10:30 Mountain Standard Time. That's when I stream code. I do stream over the weekends, but that's generally doing like a game or something like that. I try to relax over the weekends. So please follow if you haven't already, if you would like to stay up to date with these projects. It's fun thing. It's a fun way to stay up. You can ask questions. We all kind of learn together. But if you subscribe, for the subscribers, we do a custom lesson. You can request whatever topic you want to learn about. For example, Peter, you're asking about the mangle. If you subscribe, we will do a lesson on that. Figure out how do we do mangle and how do we get it to work in all these situations, or can it even work? We'll do all that research. So we offer that for subscribers. So anyways, thank you guys for coming out. We got another 2 minutes. We'll hang around before we sign off. This is Lehigh. Thank you again for being here and helping out with React. And I hope you'll come to more of these. It's fun having you here.
Yeah, for sure. This is fun. I enjoy working on it.
That's good stuff. So I'm going to the chat right now. I see they are Apex type.
Ember number.
Apex.
Push, for example.
Excuse Nightbot. That Ember number. What is that? Equals $0. What is everyone talking about right now? Here where I live in Russia, you will see on most of the sites handmade CSS classes for div. Maybe in your region, sites obfuscate CSS, but not all in all Mother Russia at all. I say obfuscate CSS only on google.ru site. Interesting. Mango classes where you see most sites. Interesting. Well, that's pretty cool. Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Thanks again, guys, and hope to see you guys on Tuesday.